Why high-value men ignore women. Practical Stoicism for daily life. Have you ever noticed that some men effortlessly attract women while others struggle, no matter how good-looking or wealthy they are? If you think it's all about money or appearance, you're missing the bigger picture. There are countless rich men who get ignored and attractive guys who can't get a single date. So, what's the real secret? Why do some men always have options, while others are left frustrated? The answer is simple. High-value men understand the power of selective attention. They know when to engage and, more importantly, when to ignore. This isn't about playing games. It's about mastering yourself, prioritizing your energy, and refusing to be controlled by fleeting emotions. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why high-value men ignore women, and how you can apply this principle to increase your own value and attraction. Watch until the end and take the first step toward unshakable confidence and true masculine power. Number 10. They are not desperate for women's approval. High-value men ignore women not out of arrogance, but because they are not desperate for validation. They operate with an iron mind, rooted in practical stoicism for daily life, understanding that their worth is not dependent on external approval. Unlike men who constantly seek validation, they cultivate self-respect and self-assurance, knowing that true confidence comes from within, not from how others perceive them. This is a fundamental Stoic principle. Control what is within your power and let go of what is not. High-value men embody this truth, making decisions based on logic and purpose rather than emotional whims. They do not chase or crave attention, which paradoxically makes them more desirable. Women sense the difference between a man who stands firm in his self-worth and one who is desperate for approval. Confidence, not neediness, creates attraction. This is evident in all aspects of life, whether in business negotiations, social interactions, or relationships. The man who does not beg for recognition commands the most respect. He understands that seeking external validation is a weak foundation for self-esteem. Instead, he builds an unshakable mindset, mastering his emotions and controlling his reactions. In contrast, men who rely on women's approval for self-worth often become frustrated and resentful when they don't receive it. A high-value man, however, remains indifferent to whether he is liked or admired. His sense of identity is already solid. Women find this quality magnetic because it signals strength, self-sufficiency, and an unwavering purpose. Think of legendary figures like Leonardo da Vinci or Nikola Tesla, men deeply engrossed in their missions, not swayed by fleeting validation. Their legacies speak to the power of prioritizing self-mastery over external approval. If you want to embody this level of self-respect, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, improving your mindset, skills, and discipline. Never let a desire for recognition dictate your actions. Instead, live by the Stoic principle of self-governance. Your value is determined by your own standards, not by how others see you. As a result, high-value men are typically more successful in both their personal and professional lives. They are also more attractive to women because they exude an air of confidence and self-assurance. Number 9. They are busy creating their own lives. A high-value man understands that his time and energy are his most valuable resources, and he refuses to waste them on meaningless distractions. He is busy shaping his own destiny, crafting a life that aligns with his vision and purpose. His focus is not on shallow validation or fleeting encounters, but on long-term fulfillment and self-mastery. Unlike the passive man who drifts through life reacting to circumstances, the high-value man takes control, setting goals and executing them with precision. This level of dedication is the essence of practical stoicism, an unwavering commitment to self-discipline, purpose, and action. He does not wait for opportunities to come to him. He creates them. He understands that success, wealth, and influence are not given, but earned through consistent effort and resilience. While some may mistake his lack of attention toward women as indifference, it is, in fact, a reflection of his priorities. He values deep, meaningful connections over superficial interactions, and he refuses to lower his standards. This mentality makes him irresistibly attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a sense of direction, men who embody strength and purpose, rather than seeking external validation. In modern life, where distractions are everywhere and instant gratification is the norm, following Stoic rules helps men maintain clarity and control. Social media, entertainment, and external noise constantly demand attention, but the disciplined man remains focused. He does not allow emotions or temporary desires to dictate his actions. He moves with intention, always guided by his values. For any man striving to become high value, the lesson is clear. Prioritize your growth, set ambitious goals, and stay disciplined. Women respect men who command their own lives, not those who chase relentlessly. Mastering practical stoicism means understanding that true fulfillment comes from within, from achieving personal excellence and maintaining emotional stability. When a man fully commits to this mindset, he naturally becomes more desirable, not because he seeks approval, but because he embodies a rare and powerful energy that commands respect. Number 8. They are very selective when it comes to women. A high-value man does not waste his time on the ordinary. He does not chase every woman, seek validation from the outside, or let emotions dictate his actions like weak men do. He chooses, he controls, he leads. Most men make the mistake of trying to date as many women as possible. They think that the more women they date, the better their chances of finding the right one. But this is not how high-value men operate. They are very selective when it comes to choosing a partner, and they take their time to find the right one. They would rather be single and wait for the right woman than settle for someone who is not a good fit. Imagine standing at the top of a mountain, looking down at the countless men scrambling below, lost, confused, and chasing things that do not serve them. You do not need to rush. You understand that quality always beats quantity. Women are naturally drawn to men with high standards, men who are not easily swayed. They respect men who operate by their own rules, men who walk the paths of wisdom, men who know exactly what they want and refuse to settle for less. The moment you become indifferent to the ordinary, you become extraordinary. This is reverse psychology at its finest. People crave what they cannot easily have. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The secret to strength lies in self-discipline." A high-value man never acts out of fear of missing out. He knows that being selective is what creates true attraction. When you set high standards, when you refuse to let just anyone into your life, you become the prize. You become the rare opportunity others must work for. So, take action today. Stop wasting your time on meaningless dates. Stop chasing what does not add real value to your life. Control. Choose. Only give your attention to what is truly worth it. Do you want to be among the men who win? Do you want to live by the principles of Stoicism win? Drop a comment. I control my life. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay on the path of the strong. Number 7. They are not women pleasers. A high-value man understands one crucial truth: he is not a woman pleaser. This mindset is the foundation of practical stoicism and the key to maintaining self-respect in relationships. Many men fall into the trap of constantly seeking a woman's approval, thinking that catering to her every need will make them more desirable. But in reality, the opposite is true. Women are not drawn to men who revolve their entire existence around making them happy. They are drawn to men who stand firm in their identity, who lead with quiet confidence, and who do not compromise their core values for the sake of validation. This is one of the fundamental Stoic rules. Never place your emotional stability in the hands of another. A Stoic man does not seek external validation. He is centered within himself. He gives, but not out of desperation. He loves, but not at the cost of his self-worth. The modern world teaches men to constantly chase, to impress, to seek approval, but a high-value man knows better. He does not ask, "How can I please her?" but rather, "Am I living in a way that is true to my values?" This does not mean he treats a woman with disregard or arrogance. True confidence has nothing to do with disrespect. Instead, he operates with quiet self-assurance, demonstrating through his actions that his value does not hinge on external opinions. Women respect a man who is unwavering, who is capable of saying no, who does not bend his will just to gain her favor. Imagine a king. He does not chase approval. He does not seek to please. He simply is. He leads. He stands firm. And because of that, he commands admiration. Practical Stoicism teaches that emotional control is power, and a high-value man does not let his emotions be dictated by the whims of a woman's approval. He understands that relationships are not about servitude, but about mutual respect. The moment a man becomes overly accommodating, always eager to please, always bending over backward to avoid conflict, he loses that respect. Women can sense when a man is being too agreeable out of fear of rejection, fear of losing her, fear of not being enough. But a Stoic man fears nothing because his worth is not tied to external circumstances. He is kind, but not weak, loving but not desperate, giving but not needy. In modern life, this is more important than ever. Social media and society pressure men to be overly accommodating, to seek constant validation, to be nice at the expense of their own self-respect. But a high-value man walks a different path. He follows Stoic rules, mastering his emotions and refusing to let external forces dictate his worth. If you want to be truly attractive, stop trying to please and start being a man who leads his own life with purpose. Number 6. They know how women work. High-value men understand female psychology at a deep level, and this awareness allows them to navigate relationships with a sense of control and emotional detachment that sets them apart. They recognize that women are primarily emotional beings, driven by feelings rather than pure logic, and they use this understanding strategically in their interactions. Unlike average men who rush into asking for a phone number or a date, high-value men follow Stoic rules and employ practical Stoicism to approach relationships with patience and intention. They take the time to build an emotional connection first, knowing that attraction is not just about appearance or words, but about how a woman feels in their presence. They listen, observe, and create an environment where she feels comfortable and drawn to them naturally. These men also understand the subtle dynamics of power. Women prefer to feel in control of their decisions, and high-value men respect this by offering choices rather than making direct demands. Instead of pressuring a woman into a date, they suggest an option and let her decide, subtly guiding her toward saying yes while making her feel like it was her choice all along. This kind of social awareness is not manipulation, but mastery, an application of practical stoicism in daily life that ensures they remain unaffected by emotional turbulence while still being effective in relationships. They don't chase or beg for attention because they know that true attraction isn't built through desperation, but through scarcity and self-respect. A woman senses when a man values himself, and she responds accordingly. In modern life, where dating has become a game of instant gratification and short attention spans, high-value men stand out because they operate by different principles. They are selective, they maintain high standards, and they never let emotions cloud their judgment. They know that a woman's initial attraction is fleeting, but if they trigger the right emotions through patience, self-control, and an unshakable presence, they remain desirable in the long term. The key is not to react impulsively or become overly invested too soon. Instead, they follow Stoic rules by staying grounded, observing before acting, and maintaining an air of mystery and challenge. This is why they often ignore women, not out of arrogance, but because they understand that real power in attraction lies in restraint. When a man is unbothered, focused on his purpose, and unwilling to be emotionally swayed by fleeting moments, he becomes irresistibly magnetic, and that is the essence of practical stoicism in relationships. Mastering emotions, leading with quiet confidence, and always being the one in control of the frame. Number 5. They don't play games. There's nothing more attractive to a woman than a man who is straightforward and honest. Their approach is rooted in practical stoicism for daily life, firm, direct, and unwavering. They understand that playing games is a sign of insecurity, a mask worn by those who lack confidence in their worth. A man with an iron mind values his time and energy, choosing clarity over confusion. He is not interested in manipulating emotions or keeping a woman guessing, because he knows that true attraction is built on respect and honesty, not on deception or power struggles. They don't need validation from temporary attention. They seek something real. A man who follows Stoic principles is like a mountain, unmoved by passing storms. He does not adjust his actions to please others, nor does he fear rejection, because he understands his own value. Women can sense when a man is authentic, and they are naturally drawn to the quiet confidence of a man who stands firm in his beliefs. By refusing to play games, a high-value man filters out those who are not genuinely interested in him, saving his energy for meaningful connections. In today's world, where distractions are everywhere, mastering practical stoicism for daily life allows a man to remain focused and in control. So ask yourself, are you clear about what you want, or are you letting society push you into a cycle of unnecessary drama? If you want to develop an iron mind, practice directness in all areas of life, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth. Be the kind of man who sets the standard, not the one who chases after approval. If you are a high-value man, live by that principle and comment confirming, "I don't play games." Number 4. They are not afraid to be alone. Ask yourself this: why do you want to be in a relationship? If your answer is anything other than, "because I want to be with someone who I love and who loves me back," then you are not ready for a relationship. High-value men understand that solitude is not a weakness, but a source of strength. They do not seek relationships out of fear of loneliness or a need for external validation, but because they genuinely desire a connection with someone who aligns with their values. This mindset is rooted in practical stoicism, where self-sufficiency and emotional control are paramount. A man who is complete within himself does not chase love, he attracts it. He does not tolerate toxicity for fear of being alone, nor does he settle for less than he deserves. Women instinctively recognize this unshakable confidence, and it draws them in. Stoic rules teach that attachment breeds suffering, and a high-value man applies this wisdom by refusing to let desperation cloud his judgment. He is not afraid to walk away from a situation that does not serve him, because he knows that his worth is not defined by a relationship. In modern life, where people constantly seek validation through social media and relationships, this principle is more relevant than ever. Many men compromise their standards out of fear of solitude, but those who embrace practical stoicism understand that true fulfillment comes from mastering one's emotions, purpose, and independence. This self-assurance makes a man more attractive because he does not need anyone to feel whole. He chooses his partners from a place of strength, not necessity. If you ever feel anxious about being alone, ask yourself, am I seeking a relationship to fill a void within me? Or am I genuinely looking for a partner to share my journey? The moment you shift your mindset, you will notice how your energy changes, how people perceive you differently, and how the right relationships naturally come into your life. Number 3, they wait for the right moment. There's a right time and a wrong time to do everything, and high-value men know that timing is everything when it comes to relationships. They know that you can't just ask a woman out on a date whenever you feel like it. You have to wait for the right moment. Have you ever watched a lion hunt? It does not strike the moment it spots its prey. It watches, it analyzes, it waits. Then, when the time is right, it makes its move. Swift, precise, and decisive. High-value men operate the same way in relationships. They do not desperately pursue. They do not reveal their intentions too soon. Instead, they walk the paths of wisdom, understanding female psychology, reading signals, and knowing when a woman is genuinely interested versus when she is just testing their patience. A true man does not get caught up in emotional games. He controls the game. So, you meet an attractive woman. Do not rush in. Do not show too much excitement. If you are too available, you will be taken for granted. But if you step back, create space, and let her feel your absence, she will start thinking about you more. High-value men do not chase. They attract. They use Stoicismwin to maintain composure, preserve their value, and stay in control. This is the power of reverse psychology. The less you show interest, the more she wonders about you, the more she desires you. So what is the lesson here? Stop chasing women. Step back and observe. Let them crave you instead of the other way around. Attraction does not come from showing too much interest. It comes from knowing how to hold back and wait for the right moment. Napoleon once said, "The winner is not the one who strikes first, but the one who knows when to strike." If you want to master life, remember this. Be the man that women want, not the man who is trying to win them over. If you agree, comment, "I control the game," and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful lessons on dominating life. Number 2, they take care of themselves first. A high-value man understands that prioritizing himself is not an act of selfishness, but rather a fundamental principle of strength, self-respect, and leadership. This is the essence of practical stoicism for daily life. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword before battle, a man must cultivate his mind, body, and soul before he can offer anything meaningful to others. He embraces the iron mind philosophy, knowing that self-care, personal growth, and discipline form the foundation of true masculinity. Without these, he cannot be a pillar of stability for those who rely on him. This mindset is deeply rooted in Stoic principles. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. High-value men embody this wisdom by taking ownership of their lives, focusing on their own well-being first, and refusing to be emotionally dependent on external validation. Women, though they may claim to desire undivided attention, are instinctively drawn to men who stand firm in their independence. A man who is too available, too eager to please, and constantly seeking approval loses the air of mystery and confidence that makes him compelling. Instead, a man who operates with quiet assurance and self-sufficiency captivates effortlessly. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature. When a man places his purpose, goals, and self-improvement above external distractions, he naturally commands respect. His actions communicate that he is not swayed by fleeting emotions or the need for constant affirmation. This creates an aura of quiet dominance, a magnetism that cannot be faked. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus. How long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself? High-value men do not wait. They commit to their mental and physical discipline, establish their boundaries, and refuse to entertain relationships that drain their energy. They know that love should never come at the cost of self-sacrifice. By embodying this iron mind philosophy, they demonstrate the kind of strength that naturally commands attraction. Women may not consciously articulate it, but they are drawn to men who lead themselves first before leading anyone else. Number 1. They never beg for attention. Picture this. You're at a party, and across the room, you see a woman who catches your eye. Most men rush in, trying to impress her, cracking jokes, offering drinks, or doing anything to hold her interest. But a man who understands his worth does not chase. He attracts. His presence alone speaks louder than words, and his confidence is not derived from external validation, but from an unshakable self-assurance. He knows that if a woman is genuinely interested, she will naturally gravitate toward him. This isn't about arrogance, it's about self-respect. A high-value man engages the world from a position of strength, not desperation. If he chooses to approach a woman, he does so because he is genuinely curious about her, not because he needs her attention to feel important. He stands firm, unaffected by rejection, because he understands that his value isn't dictated by someone else's interest in him. This is the essence of practical stoicism for daily life, remaining centered and unshaken, no matter the external circumstances. When a man begs for attention, he sends a signal that he is incomplete, that he seeks validation outside himself. But a true Stoic, a man with an iron mind, knows that his presence, his self-control, and his quiet confidence are what truly make him stand out. The best way to attract high-quality people into your life is to become one yourself. Women, like all people, are drawn to those who have mastered themselves, those who do not waver in their sense of purpose. So the next time you feel the urge to chase, pause and remember, you are the prize. Carry yourself accordingly. Don't get this wrong. We're not saying that you should never approach women, but if you do, Make sure that you are coming from a place of strength. Do it like a real man, not like a little boy begging for attention. And that's it, Ban. If you want to be a high-value man, remember, your worth comes from within, not from external validation. To sum it up, be happy with yourself first. Don't rely on a woman to complete you. Embrace solitude. It's a time for growth, not something to fear. Stop pleasing everyone. Stand your ground and respect yourself. Women are naturally drawn to men who embody these principles, not those who chase approval. Now, don't stop here. Watch the recommended video on your screen. It'll show you exactly how high-value men talk to women with confidence and purpose. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.